All right, what's up, guys? It's been a while since I uploaded a video, and I'm sitting here. It's late at night, and I kind of decided I'm gonna start to document this new journey I'm on here with this SaaS model. Sorry if I cough a bit. I'm coming off a cold. So I'm gonna go over this and kind of how we ended up here, how we shifted from all that coaching crap and all this stuff, and how we landed on this SaaS model and that I started a week ago, and how I got to 350 MRR in the last week. Now I know this is not crazy numbers, but 350 MRR with a very sticky SaaS in 1 week of starting. I'm pretty excited where this is gonna go. And I think I cracked a pretty good organic acquisition method. So I'm excited to where this is gonna go. And I just decided, I think I'm gonna document this on a weekly basis, kind of document progress, talk about what's working, what's not working. Yeah, so this video, I'm gonna talk about basically the long-term, how we got here, mistakes I've made, long-term, short-term mistakes I've made, and what we're looking at for the future. So this is going to be a pretty raw video. I mean, most of my videos are pretty raw, but this one I haven't thought out too much. Did up a quick Miro board in like 30 seconds just to give me some guidance through this. So yeah, pop us in. It's late at night. I got a whiskey on the rocks going. As this video is titled, right? Week one, $350 a month in MRR with a very sticky SaaS product. And that being said, again, I know $350 a month is not that much, but I'm excited to where this is gonna go. So let's get into it. We're gonna start way back, kind of how I ended up here, right? And we're gonna start with past failures. Now, I've done a lot of crap in my life, okay? Over the years, I've tried a lot of crap. And these are some of my past failures, right? I was into house flipping for a while. I ran the typical agency for a while. I ran an e-com brand for a while. I did some info and coaching and stuff like that for a while, making YouTube videos and stuff like that. I've made YouTube videos for a long time, and I enjoy that, honestly, and kind of mix that in with a bit of info and coaching and stuff. And I didn't really like it. And I'm gonna kind of get into that and how we ended up where we are now. But to touch on all of these models, house flipping, that was a while back, a few years back. I flipped some houses, I made some money. I flipped some houses, I didn't make a lot of money. I flipped some houses, I lost money. One flip, I lost $30,000 on. And long story short, the Canadian government, I live in Canada, basically made it impossible to make house flipping profitable. They introduced a ton of anti-flipping taxes, basically decimated the business model. Not to mention the market is absolute shit and has been shit since COVID. Houses and real estate is way overpriced and it's sitting on the market forever. So the combination of everything basically just made that model not feasible where I am right now. Some states, down in the States, it's still a very feasible model, but not here. Agency model, I ran content agency, lead gen agency, and I'll get into the reason why this was not sustainable for me, but it basically comes down to intense fulfillment and high churn. Now, e-com is a very fun business, right? It's fun to create a product. It's fun to brand a product. It's fun to constantly make different ads and content to promote a product. However, it is extremely fucking hard to make it profitable. It's not like it used to be. Our products that we were selling were like $30, maybe up to $40 on the high end. And your whole business model is basically running on ads. It's very hard today to create a real memorable brand. And there are some outliers, but it's not like it was in the Gymshark days, right? It's very competitive now. And when you're trying to build a business that's based on making a $40 or $30 product profitable while relying on Facebook ads, it becomes very hard. And I just could not keep margins on it. Some days I'd make a little bit of money on ads. Some days I would lose money. Then the next day I would break even. Then the next day I would lose more money. Then the next day I would make 10 bucks. It's like, it was just not sustainable. And eventually I had to close the door on it, long story short. Now, info and coaching space. I'm not going to get too into this, but a very fun freedom-based business. However, hard to scale, hard to maintain past a few years, hard to not come off as a scammer. Basically, industry has taken a weird shift where you have to like lease Lamborghinis to be profitable and very hard to sustain more than like a 2-year period. So I think I'm getting a little older, I'm getting a little wiser. And kind of what I realized is if I get paid one time, I don't care if it's $50, $100, or $500, I want to get paid every month off that money for doing no work. Okay. I would rather have $10,000 a month MRR with a sticky SaaS product than to run a $50,000 a month lead gen agency or some shit like that. Right. So why did all of this happen, right? I kind of got into this, but why did all of these businesses inevitably fail for me in the long run? And it really comes down to, for the most part, when we're talking about sort of the agency models, high churn times time restraint equals fail. And here's something you probably don't know about me, but this is the reality of life, okay? And I know like most gurus and shit and YouTubers will never even admit this crap, but I have a job, okay? Big fucking surprise. I have a career. I have a very demanding, high-paying career. I make, multiple 6 figures a year, which it's good income. It's good money. Obviously, it's not like these gurus saying they make $1 million a month off some bullshit and they sit on a beach all day. But yeah, I have a good career, and it's the ultimate golden handcuffs. And the problem with all these business models, okay, they take a lot of time with fulfillment and they're high churn. So you get a customer, you're working all day to fulfill that customer. And I always had VAs and, a couple people working with me. However, all of these customers, it's like a balancing act because I only have real free time where I can focus on work after work, in the evenings, and on the weekends, which is when most business owners are not available. So it became this balancing act of getting a few clients, maybe making a few $1,000, had to focus all of my time on managing fulfillment and not being able to, grow past that. And it just inevitably all came crumbling down. And this is kind of when I realized all of this. This is when I really looked into SaaS and I wanted to, again, get a customer and get paid for life, right? So here we have, right, get paid once, get paid forever. This became my new motto this year. And this is when I came across GoHighLevel, okay? And I wanted to offer, there's a lot of SaaS products out there. The problem is with SaaS products, they're all kind of around the same price, okay? And most of them are very hard for a customer to understand. Like most SaaS products, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not tangible. It's not something that a customer really needs, okay? I wanted something to sell to contractors because I'm kind of in the contracting world, the construction world, pretty high up the chain in a company where we do, about $15 million a year in revenue. I have a good understanding of these businesses. So I wanted the most simple offer I could offer to these businesses and the most sticky offer. And I think people overlook GoHighLevel's features because it's just too easy, right? And what's the easiest service that you can sell is basically a website, right? You give someone a website once and they pay for it forever. Also, there's other things you can tie into this like reviews and missed call text back, CRM. There's all these different features. You can kind of bundle this together as you want in different packages. Right now, what I'm doing is offering 2 packages, right? So I have offer 1, which is just a website. We have a templated website. This, we build it for free, and then it's $89 a month. Offer 2 is kind of a combination of features. You get a website for free. We build up the website. You pay for the hosting every month, which is included in this price. You also get features like Google review automations, missed call text back, 2-way SMS, as well as a CRM to track all your messages and your pipeline. This, we're kind of playing with pricing. It's going to be anywhere from $249 a month to $349 a month. We'll probably start on the low end and increase prices to about $349 a month. Now, the great thing about these offers, right, is you set this up once, and fulfillment with this offer is about 2 to 4 days. Fulfillment with this is about 5 to 10 days. That's where we're at right now. We're probably going to get this down to a day, maybe not even. Probably get this down to a couple days. And the thing is with these services, they're so goddamn sticky. Like the average contractor or small business keeps their website for about 7 years. So if I can get a customer for $89 a month and on average keep them for 7 years, I mean, the LTV is insane off that $89 a month package. And what, it took me a day to build. Like, this is a fucking no-brainer, right? And again, the reason I chose these offers is for my lifestyle right now, I need to, before I can go full-time into something, I need to get to about $30,000 a month, $30,000 MRR consistently before considering going full-time with something. And like I said, with the time restraints and the churn rates of your typical agency, I just could never make that possible to get there and get there consistently. So with this, I think, I mean, I could get this to $30,000 a month and basically turn it off if I wanted to. Obviously, that's not the plan. And this may take a little longer to get to that point, but I definitely see a path forward. And I'm hopefully going to be documenting this on a weekly basis. So right now, like I said, we started a week ago. I'm at $350 a month MRR. And I kind of tried this in the past. A few months ago, I had a very similar offer using GoHighLevel. And I think the reason it didn't work at that point was because I was a little scattered. I was selling all the features sort of individually. And I think I was confusing the customer as well. My acquisition method at that point was strictly Facebook ads. So I think I spent about $2,000 in Facebook ads, booked a lot of calls, right? I booked probably, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 calls, and only one of them showed up. And now I'm kind of realizing where I went wrong. I had some cracks in my funnel. Offer wasn't very clear. Now I think I've got that dialed in, but right now we're doing free acquisition. But I think I've got that dialed in. And basically what we're doing here, right? The reason we're able to deliver this so fast is we're running off one templated website, one snapshot, and one VA setting this all up. I think we can get to about $10,000, $15,000 a month MRR with one VA, and then we'll have to hire another VA, which is very, this is very simple stuff. And what we've been doing right now as moving away from Facebook ads is I've kind of cracked an acquisition method here using Facebook groups. And I think that I can get to about 10K MRR strictly with Facebook groups, okay? The $350 a month MRR that I generated the last week was from two posts in Facebook groups, okay? So right now, this week, I'm moving this week, so it's going to be a busy week, but I'm going to continue to run Facebook groups. Starting next week, I'm going to go pretty hard on Facebook groups. I have a buddy of mine who's, he's a sales guy. I've got him set up. He's going to be taking sales calls once we get to about 5 calls a day, which I think I can get pretty quick with Facebook groups. Then once we crack 10K MRR, we're going to see how Facebook groups are doing. And then I'll probably revert back to meta ads, pitching the higher ticket offer. On the call, if they don't go for the higher ticket offer, we're going to downsell them on the lower ticket offer. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Week 1, $350 MRR. I'm kind of excited about this. Hopefully someone else watching this is excited about this. And we're going to see where we can get week 2. Hopefully we can double it. Hopefully first month we can get to $1,000 a month MRR. Kind of a weird video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see where we can go from here. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram. And yeah, have a great rest of the night, everyone. I will see you next week.